What is up, Copy Squad? It's your boy, Kyle Milligan, coming to you live from Delray Beach, Florida. And today, we're going to talk about copywriter qualifications to get $1,000 a month clients on retainer. Basically, what I'm going to talk about is, I'm probably going to rant through most of this. I had like a keyword list pulled up, and then I walked away from the internet connection before I pulled up the list. So I don't have any of that stuff anymore. But there is a lot of things in my mind right now that I kind of would like to talk about. And it mostly has to do with the fact that I consistently get this question: how do I get clients? How do I get high-paying $1,000, $5,000 clients? And how do I pitch them? How do I get freelance gigs? How do I do this? How do I do that? I've got like 5 answers to this. And I bet people who came here for the clickbait aren't going to be happy with my response to this. But I'll say it's basically going to talk about your mindset, man. Okay, so let me see. I got some notes. Okay, let's talk about where do I even start? People are wondering like what kind of qualifications they need. How do they get clients if they don't have experience? What if they don't have a portfolio? All right, cool. Let's say you don't have experience. Well, how about you say, I have no experience? Well, that's not necessarily true. You've got experience. If you're over like the age of like 7 years old, you've got some sort of experience in your life, and that becomes a selling point for you. Maybe you can use some sort of sales experience from previous job. I've talked about this in my last 5 videos. I'm like rambling about it. I'm like kind of tired of talking about this. Bro, you've got experience of some sort. You've done something. And if you don't have experience, how about this? How about get some damn experience? So for instance, there's 2 things you can do. All right? So remember what copywriting is. We're just selling stuff. If you've ever sold anything, you've got sales experience. You can sell somebody else's product, or you can create your own product and sell it. That's it, dude. So if you want to come to the table with some experience, basically what I preach is new, easy, safe, and big. Those are the big 4 emotions of selling pretty much anything. My entire book is called Take Their Money at kylewriter.com/book. Is about these big 4 emotions. If you can trigger these big 4 emotions, you can sell anything. Yeah, I still have people coming to me like, how do I get clients? I don't have experience. I don't have a portfolio. Well, bro, have you ever tried selling anything? That brings me to my next ranting point. Who do you think you are to, and this is a serious question. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but who do you think you are to tell someone that you should pay me to do a service if you cannot begin to even define what that service is or have ever attempted it, right? Like, think about that. If you want to, like, picture any job, like, take it to one extreme or the other, like brain surgeon. Who are you to open someone's skull and mess with their brain if you've never even, like, looked at, like, an anatomy textbook, right? So think about it. Like, just because you want to make money from home, do you deserve to have an impact on someone's business? Think about what qualifies you. You really need to think about that, because whenever you find that answer, that's what your pitch is. That's your pitch. You can find an answer. That brings me back to that, dude, I have no experience crap. Not true, man. You're either like a really curious dude who reads a lot or writes a lot, or like, that's another thing. People neglect the writing in copywriting. Like, people who have no idea how to write, want to write for a living. Think about, is copywriting really for you? If you don't know how to sell and you don't know how to write, are you just trying to get free money? Maybe you should just go buy some lotto tickets instead of cold pitching all day, right? And like, it's copywriting is a language, baby. It's a professional language. We're professionals out here. That's why people make so much money doing it. We take it seriously. We practice the craft and we hone our skills. I give you 3 writing exercises like in every video. Read a piece of copy, write a piece of copy, and come up with an idea every day. I've given you an entire swipe file for that too. And I hate to harp on it, especially for my people who are listening to this every day. But I get people coming in. How do I get clients, Kyle? Okay. How about this? I got another idea. So we just talked about no experience, right? So if you've got no experience, get some damn experience. Sell something, and then you can say, hey, I sold Amazon products on a blog as an affiliate guy, and I made $600 in 1 month. How cool is that? I can help your business because I've got that goes somewhere. That takes you somewhere. I used to work at a car dealership, right? I worked 6 days a week selling face-to-face, the hardest form of sales there is, and I turned over X number of dollars in revenue. But you sold something, right? I used to sell Pokemon cards in elementary school. You sold something. Like, you've got some experience. Quit saying I have no experience. You've done something. You've sold something in your life. And if you haven't, then why should anyone trust you with their entire business, their sales process? Like, you got to be an adult. Be an adult. I get it. You want to make free money. But, dude, be an adult. So, the second thing I want to talk about, beyond experience, all right? And with the portfolio and all that stuff. Why are you asking me? So, this is real talk, dude. I've never once claimed to be a freelance expert. As a matter of fact, I almost say it with a disclaimer at the beginning of all these. I work for Agora Financial. Yes, I did make a bunch of money writing copy. $7.1 million in a single year. And that's like my claim to fame. And I did that at Agora Financial as an in-house copywriter. That's why I say, okay, if you want to get experience, maybe you should just go get a job first and learn the trade, learn the craft. I will be turning work away for the rest of my life because I put myself in a position to have learned the craft in a really highly skilled environment around people who are basically famous. So instead of just saying, hey, give me your money, give me your business, let me just write your emails, I went out and learned the craft. So that comes back to the question, why are you asking me, right? Why are you asking me how to do freelance copywriting or how to get freelance clients? Why are you asking me? Why not? All right, I'm not saying this, I want you to consider this critically. I'm not saying this to like scold you. What I want you to realize is here's how I became famous, or not famous, but successful, or here's how I got good at what I do, is I basically copied Frank Kern on his videos. That's how you found me, right? I saw a guy doing what I wanted to do, and I said, okay, I'm going to mimic this guy. So, why are you following me? If you want to learn copy, great. I'm here to teach you copy. But don't follow me to try to learn how to pick up clients or something, maybe, per se. Maybe use those skills that I teach you to get clients. But I'm copying Frank Kern so that I can do these videos and make money selling my book. Because Frank Kern makes videos and makes money selling a book. It only makes sense to copy him. All right? So if you want to like learn how to get a bunch of clients, why are you asking me? Why don't you go to someone who is doing what they're already doing what you want to do, follow them, and copy what they do? They're probably selling a product, answering exactly your question. And I battled with this. Response for like the last week or two. Because I keep getting the question, and it's like, well, I don't want to turn away viewers. I don't want to turn away. You could be my next customer, you know? But it's like, are you just like randomly asking people who say they write copy how to do things? Like, choose your mentors wisely. I think I'm a good person to follow if you're already practicing copy, if you want to learn copy, if you want to learn how to speak directly to the emotional brain and trigger the emotional responses that make people want to buy stuff. I'm your guy. I've proven it. I've got a track record, and I do these videos. I give away free value. I got a book. I'm your guy. But if you want to learn how to pick up $1,000 a month clients on retainers, why don't you ask the guy with $1,000 a month clients on retainers? Follow the guy doing what you want to do and then copy them. That's my whole message too, man. This whole thing of learning the language of copywriting, which is my whole message. Like, I got a lot of whole messages, don't I? But I say learn the language of copywriting. Learn the craft and master the craft. So that is like a big pillar for me. Like, it's a professional language. People go to law school to learn to become a lawyer. People go to graduate school to finance and learn, like, get a master's in accounting and learn how to be an accountant. But you want to read like half of one book and be like, how do I get $1,000 a month? Bro, you don't take it seriously. And again, like, my platform is practice the craft daily. I'm teaching you how to practice the craft daily so that you can be a credible resource. And once you're a credible resource, you don't have to ask me questions like, how do I get a client? You'll know how to sell, and you'll just sell them. So it shows me that when I get this question that, one, you're picking mentors very poorly because I don't even do the thing that you're asking. I don't even do that thing. That's not even me, man. I went and got a job and learned from the best in the world how to do it instead of just cold pitching. So, another message. So, I'm not the dude. I'm not the dude, man. And I've wrestled with this. Do I want to turn away these viewers? Maybe they'll watch some other videos. Maybe they'll buy the book. Maybe they'll buy the research package, even better. But at the same time, dude, I want to guide you in the right direction. Follow the person who's already doing what you want to do, man. Mimic them. That's the whole thing, dude. When you reverse engineer the language of copywriting, it allows you to read, copy, and dissect what is working so that you can replicate it in your own copy. The things that trigger those emotional responses, you can isolate them. You can replicate them, and then you can sell a bunch of stuff. But it all starts with realizing you got to copy what works. You imitate, then you innovate. And if you're asking me how to get clients, then you're not copying what works, because I have never claimed to be a client-getting dude. So it's like you aren't even doing the research, baby. Like, you're coming in the door with, like, foot and mouth already. So you watch a couple of my videos, my man. So, or ladies out there, right? So, I can talk about a couple more things. Here's the things I want to harp on. Christopher says, I love the book. Thanks for the value. Thanks, Christopher. Glad to have you as a customer and a viewer. Thanks for joining the live. Anyone else who wants to check out the book is kylethewriter.com/book. And the book is called Take Their Money. It'll teach you the language of copywriting. In Jesus Christ, it's a professional language. There's a reason why it makes millions of dollars, because it is a powerful, emotional, professional language. If everyone could just read half of one book and make $1 million, we'd all be a bunch of millionaires, wouldn't we? Everybody would be. Like, no one would do anything else, right? It's a professional language. It's a profession. And if you want to be a professional, and you want to be a boss, you want to be a big shot, and you want to go travel the world, you need to treat it like a professional language, and it will pay you like a professional language. I will be Exhibit A for that. Okay, so qualifications. You don't really need any, you don't need any schooling, you don't need any college degree, you don't have to go to copywriting school. Although I do kind of recommend going to a pseudo copywriting school, and then I think going to get a job and working among some people who know how to do copywriting, working beside a mentor who can show you the ropes and correct your copywriting daily, that's like copywriting school. College and that kind of stuff, not necessarily going to get you there. So qualifications. You just need to have to want to sell stuff and be curious, because it's 70% of it. I'll say 60 to 70. Low end 60, high end maybe 70% of it is research. I don't come up with the words that come up on those pages in copywriting. I find the research, and the research does all the writing for me, and then I simply imbue the more emotions, new, easy, safe, and big, which I teach you how to do in my book, Take Their Money, at kylethewriter.com/book. How to become a copywriter with no experience. You need to shift your mindset in this no experience garbage. You've got experience. Like when I started Agora Financial, the number one direct response marketing company in the world, I had never written copy for any sort of success. I had dabbled, I had read some books, and I told them I really like to read and I really like to write, and they gave me a shot, and that was that. But I'll tell you, dude, I didn't come in with hey guys, I'm brand new and I want to give this a try, would you please hire me? That's where people get it confused. Yes, I was new, but I damn sure didn't come in and say I'm a nobody with nothing to offer. I said, I read a lot of books, dude. You'll never find anyone who's more curious or nerdy or reads more than me. I read more than everyone at your office. And I was like, I write all the time. I live to write. I've written 2 novels this year, and I would probably crank out another one, but I'm getting so interested in copywriting, I think that's the direction I want to go. I don't come to the table and say, I got no experience, even though I did have no experience, right? So don't get it twisted. Nobody owes you a job. Nobody owes you an opportunity because you're new and you deserve a shot. You have to earn it, man. You have to earn it. I'm getting a little heated. It might be because it's 87 degrees, says my thermometer here. But dude, you can't just come in and be I'm new. Give me a shot. And I won't. Okay, I'll say another thing. I've done that. I've gone on Reddit groups and I've said, man, I wish I could just get a shot and blah, blah, blah. And guess what never happened for me? Nothing. I never got the jobs that way, right? Chris says, question, am I reading copy daily, as you said, inside the letters? How do you guys create graphics charts reframing the proof like software? Good question, Christopher. That is definitely a benefit of working at an in-house job like Agora Financial. We have a designing team that does that. So if you look at my book is actually, I did it all, right? So a lot of it's kind of copy and pasting of the examples and images and stuff like that from my promotions or something. It's not super... it's not the prettiest design ever, but one of the things that we do have the benefit of in-house is a design team. And again, I don't think it's alright, also another thing, you gotta remember that life is long, dudes. Life is long. 1 year working in-house where you get all these awesome resources at your disposal where you can learn so much. Next year, you can leave if you want. Life is long, and you'll probably have 10 times more experience than if you just try cold pitching all willy-nilly and you have no idea what's working and what's not. I think going to copywriting school, as I call it, where you just go get a job and work beside someone who knows what they're doing, is the fastest shortcut to getting it done. What are your role models was another note I put here. So if you're asking how to get $1,000 clients on retainer, then you're asking me, then you're probably not choosing your role models wisely, and you're probably not going to be very successful because you're choosing me, a guy who's never claimed to get freelance clients in his life, to answer your questions. Makes no sense. I'm not the authority on that thing. You need to go to an authority. The reason I'm doing these videos is because I copy Frank Kern, his intent-based branding strategy, and it's making me money because I saw someone who's doing what I want to do, and I mimicked it. Okay, so you should just pay attention to my content, and you'll see that I work in-house at Agora Financial. That's where I made all my money. I'm still making my money there, except for the stuff I've made in this book, which I made, and I've said 1,000 times, copying Frank Kern. Most people ignore the writing in copywriting. Okay, so you don't need like a specific set of qualifications. You usually pay like an editor, someone to help out with your grammar on like Fiverr or something like that. I've heard. I've never done that, but it's an available resource. But man, if you don't like writing, or you don't like research, or you can't write a simple sentence, then dude, this is not a free money gig, dude. This is a professional skill set. It will pay you well if you treat it like a professional skill set. And I think it's just I'm getting overwhelmed with the people who are like, yeah, I started reading your book and now I want to make $1,000 a month. Okay, well, why should you make $1,000? Like, why should anyone trust you with their business? Like, and they never have an answer to that. Like, I don't have any experience, so it's not my fault. Dude, you've got experience, you've sold something before, and if you can't frame what your experience has been into something sellable, then you're a poor copywriter already. Because your whole job is sales. Your whole job is to convince a total stranger. That's what direct response marketing is. When I write a sales letter, I go from dear reader to buy now button at the bottom, total stranger, to they are excited about my offer, they trust me, and they're ready to whip out their credit card and pay $2,000 for something. All right? That's the kind of skill we're talking about here. That's a very powerful skill. You use the language of copywriting to speak directly to the emotional center of the brain. You can definitely manipulate people to do stuff like that, and you can make a lot of money that way. But if you can't even figure out how to say you have some experience, okay? And I told you 2 easy ways to get some experience: sell your own product or sell someone else's product. It's like the only thing you can do in this world to sell stuff. You're selling someone else's thing, or you made something and you sold it. And once you do that, if you sell 10 of them, okay, you sell 10 of them, that is experience. You say, hey, I was able to whip up a sales page, and on my own, I sold 10 widgets, and I did it in like 3 weeks. That's not a very awesome like story, but you can whip that up and say, I went from 0 to sales in 3 weeks. That sounds way cooler than I sold 10 things in 3 weeks, right? I mean, you're a copywriter. It's your job to sell. You gotta take that, whatever you've got, make something happen. I got another question. How did you find out about Agora? How did I find out? Oh, I was actually, funny story. I've told this story a couple times. I was driving to Chicago to visit my sister, and I had James Altucher's audiobook was playing, Choose Yourself, which is funny because I've written several sales letters for James Altucher since then. James Altucher was like a hero of mine. I thought that dude was amazing, and I still do. I think he's right. But I was driving, and I was like, okay, I'm turning this off. It's like my second listen through. Turning it off, and I'm going to listen to some copywriting podcasts. I was just kind of interested in copywriting. I had no experience. So I put on this copywriting podcast. It's called Copy Chief. And Joe Schrafer was on there, the publisher at Agora Financial, and he said, hey, we're bringing people over to Baltimore to get copywriting training. And I was like, ooh, I'm interested in copywriting. I would like some training. So he said, just email me, and we'll bring you out if you're any good, and you can do our copy camp in Baltimore. And I was like, well, that's that. Like, I just went ahead and emailed Joe. He didn't respond. And then I sent him another email. It just said bump with a smiley face. Capital B-U-M-P and a smiley face. And then he responded. They flew me out to Florida to interview down here. Then they flew me out to Baltimore to interview up there. I had to write 2 pages. And guess how I wrote those 2 pages? I copied, what was it called? Cash for Patriots, I think, was the promo. And I sold this. Yeah, I had to sell him a book. This is the same thing I've asked other people to do for me. Sell me a book. 2 pages. Just write me a lead. Sell me a book. I did Bigger, Leaner, Stronger, which is an exercise book by Michael Matthews. I think that book, for dollars to impact, probably the most life-changing book I've ever read, was Bigger, Leaner, Stronger. And I just copied the exact format of Cash for Patriots, which was an Agora promotion at that time. See, this is before I even got hired. This is how I found success. I just copy what works, man. I copied the format of Cash for Patriots, and they flew me out to Florida, and then I moved to Baltimore for copy camp. So that's how I found out about Agora. I had no clue what Agora was. I was not like a bright-eyed, like, I wasn't super eager to go work at Agora. I didn't know who the hell they were. I just happened to stumble upon this podcast, right? And it was a very lucky stroke because they happen to be like the best copywriting group in the world. But, man, yeah. Like, that's another thing that troubles me about people's excuses. Dude, I had no experience. Dude, I didn't even know who Agora was. And I got in the job. Like, basically what it comes down to is you want someone to hold your hand and tell you the no-fail way to get something. Like, if you follow this template, you will convert 100% of sales. That's what people want to hear. And that it gets under my skin a little bit because nothing's guaranteed, man. Like, nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed in sales. Your idea might not resonate. Your proof might not strike the way you think it's going to strike. Your design might be crap, you know? Could be anything. But there's no, like, 100% guaranteed method. And I think that's another thing that's been bugging me lately is the wider my reach gets, the more I encounter folks like that. So anyway, so copywriting is a professional language, baby. It speaks directly to the emotional center of the brain, which science has proven, neuroscientists proved, that if your emotional center of your brain gets damaged, you cannot make decisions. Your decisions are actually made in the emotional center. Logic justifies the decision that you already came to, but it all starts with your emotional brain. They don't teach you how to speak to the emotional brain in school. They teach you how to speak and communicate facts and logic and bullcrap that doesn't sell. Just like so much of the educational system, they teach you a bunch of stuff that's pretty much useless. So, if you want to learn how to communicate to someone's emotional brain, stir up their desire, and get them to buy your stuff, you should check out my book. It's called Take Their Money. It's at kylethewriter.com/book. It'll teach you exactly how to do that stuff. Please, if someone wouldn't mind, could you drop the link for me in the comments there? kylethewriter.com/book. I'll hang out for like one more second if there's any more questions. But basically, long and short of it is, you gotta want it, man, and you can't come out like it's too much victim mentality. Like, you gotta make stuff happen. Your job is to sell, and if you come out with I have no experience, and you're like waiting for someone to like teach you how to have experience, or give you like the trick to get around that, well then the trick to get around that is to sell, man. Is to be a salesman and know how to spin it in your favor and make yourself seem very valuable. That's what copywriting is. It's salesmanship in print. If you can't sell, then you're probably hurting the business that you're taking their money, $1,000 a month even. If you can't sell, then you're just hurting that business. You're just a parasite. Okay? It's not good. Okay, but if you learn how to speak to the emotional center of the brain, take their money at kylethewriter.com/book. I don't see any questions coming through. That's all I've got for today. A little ranty on this one. I keep having ranty ones. Peace out, Copy Squad.